Good morning, Monday morning, welcome back, welcome to all the new subscribers. We're going to try and do a video fest this week where I'm going to attempt to put one video up every night. I'm hoping I can get the wife in on this. She's on lockdown, she's got health issues so she isn't allowed out, but she's bored out of her brains, so I said to her, I go, if you're bored, you can hold the camera for me. Her response was, So what are we going to do? Well, quite simply, that bulkhead needs lining. It needs stuffing and it needs boarding up, it needs wallpapering, it needs sorting. And then we need to do that one as well, which I don't know how I'm going to go about at the moment because my stuffing and my wiring is a little bit proud of where everything is supposed to sit. And we've got that one up there as well to do. So, and then sometime during the week if I get time, we need to get the floors rebuilt on this here slide out. I believe she's buying me a shower tray at some point this week from what she was saying, which means we can then start focusing on how that is all going to go together. I've been doing some experimentation on wood colours. I bought a load of wood dye, water-based crystals, trying to keep the environment safe and friendly because I might plan to spray this on, and I did some experimentation, so let me show you what we've been up to. This is what we came up with. Experiment number one, a light walnut dye over the ply and then a brush on lacquer just to see what it would do, and I'll be honest, don't like it. So then we had another go. So we mixed a bit of black water-based paint with the dye this time, and that is what we came up with. Don't like that either. And I think the final solution, which is much better, because I've got to put oak up against this here kind of ply, I wanted the two to work. The grain pattern in this is not that great, if I'm honest, and I wanted to try and hide as much of that as possible so the doors would pop louder than the walls that they're joined to, and this is pretty much what we came up with. You know, I have been battling to try and get this overhead cupboard to lacquer up a lot better than it was, and this is the result of the last attempt. Now I sanded it down, I've almost got it, only thing is I've got contamination of dust, which is a big no-no in this game. We put polyurethane on top, we sanded this all bad, it's really good, but as you can see, dust interference, and you can see where it's soaked into some of the resin that I put on underneath, but it is really good. So we've got to go over this again, obviously. We'll have to flower paper that down, do the same on that door, and this door, where is it? Where did I put it? I don't know where did I put it. Again, you can see the shine, but you can also see the dust. And where I sanded it has come out a bit light, but that's partly due to it being rotten. And this one, again, dust, dog fur. Haven't quite got it where I need it. Still a bit rough around that edge, nice and smooth, but it's just not shiny. So again, we've got to sand that one down. Right. Oh, and I'm going to use you as part of the interaction in this as well, honey, so I do need you to speak, if you wouldn't mind. I know you don't want to be here, do you?
No, dear.
No, I figured that much. Well, we've got to do this. So we've got to move all of this out of the way.
Good.
I've got to get all of that up where you are. Otherwise I can't get to this wall. So this has been beating me up all over the weekend. The wood is actually at a lower point than the steel is. So I don't know whether to cut some wood and nail on just to bring that out, and then put one big piece of sheet halfway down and then physically cut them out with jigsaw because I can see, or to run a piece straight across the centre at the top, you know, that way, and then have the metal exposed in the middle, and then make up a cover plate. Hello?
What?
Oh, alright, I thought you weren't pointing the camera at me.
What's on you?
Alright. A wooden plate to cap over the top with that stuff on the wall. That vinyl glued onto it, maybe pad it as well. But we have also got a ship's staircase to build for you because you're a short frame.
I can't help I'm short.
And in order to help you, well, you should get through that hole a lot better than I can. So yeah, I don't know. But first things first, I need to go indoors, get some boots on and clear all this, and we can then move on to other stuff. So we need to have a little clear up this end. Oh well, getting there, aren't we, dear?
Yeah.
Moving everything up the top.
There's a screw. Where did it go? You must have hit the screw.
Well, what if I just do this panel in the middle? That's
Yeah,
where the
just do
steps
that
are going to go. But you're not going to see it because there's a platform. Actually, the platform will be here.
No, just do that one. You don't
So
need
I'll
that. You
do
see, you
that
don't
one.
need that many. Just enough to.
What?
Get that camera out of my face. I hate cameras.
You. Lesson number 1 on how to tame your wife.
What?
You are good to me, aren't you, honey?
Why am I good to you?
Come on, I need to get in, honey. You are, aren't you? You're a wonderful human being. And by the way, your hair looks nice.
What are you after, Sean?
Yeah, I'm not after nothing. Can I not pay a compliment?
Okay.
What?
You're after something.
I'm not after nothing. Why are you so damn suspicious?
Because you work when you want something.
No, I'm not like that when I want
Okay.
something. I'm paying you a compliment.
Okay. I'll accept your compliment, but don't think you're going to get anything from it.
Forgot about that a lot. Every damn time.
I'll put pause.
No. I just don't want that full on my fresh varnish. Scratch at the pieces. See how wet it gets up there, can't you? Just looking at the wood.
That's more like gold.
Got mould on the other one. Shows you how much is leaking in it up there.
Oh God, see that bit?
No, it's not mould.
Sorry?
No, it's that polyurethane stuff on the ceiling. But you can see how much water gets up there because there's no seals in place. So that's something that needs to be addressed. So as soon as this bulkhead's done, we need to move on. And my carpets are getting ruined. Brand new. Right. Well, I don't know what to do. Do I put the plywood at a long angle? Makes it easier to cut those out. I can draw around that, jigsaw it out and they're done. Or should I think I'd be better off going the full width at the top and then the full width at the bottom and then filling in this piece after. Because I can use that as a channel as well for wiring. If I have to bring any wiring across, like that panel there, I think I've got this red wire here, so I can thread it along there, down, and then through, and then we can illuminate that centerpiece as spoken about. So I think what we're going to have to do now is get a piece of ply down out from behind the sofa, just where our stash is, Measure it up and cut the first one, and then we'll lay it in. Can I get underneath that lorry? Because if I can get underneath, I can put temporary screws in, and I might be able to reach in.
So what you're measuring?
Right, point the camera on me and the saw. Work for you?
Yeah, it works for me.
Now, we should dye that. I think we should dye that in the deeper colour we've got. And as I said before, we'll panel off underneath maybe. I don't know, unless you want it wallpapered. There's going to be aluminium go round, and I'm putting carpet on the inside edge of that step. So you've got a nice bright white carpet.
But the trouble is, if you have wallpaper, that's going to get dirty, isn't it?
No, it's going to get lacquered, so it'll be wipeable. But if you scrape anything sharp against it, being it's paper backed, it's going to tear to shreds. But we can make a panel up for the metal to go over, and because I can see where the metal is, that will make life easier for when I do the big step.
Right.
It certainly changes that.
Yeah.
I'm glad I did it that way and not long ways. I'm glad I've done it that way. Right, Monday. that is quite simply water based. It's 4 parts water based black paint and 4 parts walnut crystal, natural, whatever the hell the stuff is from eBay, crystals mixed with hot water that I did previously the other day, and I just kept adding the black until we get that look that you see here. This is the look I'm after within most of the truck, to be honest with you. So we're going to let that dry off. Hopefully the ambient temperature out here, which is blooming cold, will dry it off just enough so I can just give it a gentle rub down. I'm hoping that the high spots of the grain will stand out more. That will make that grain a little bit more of an interesting feature, and then we'll put the lacquer over the top after we've dedusted it. I think we're going to concentrate just on the top part for today, and then tomorrow we'll concentrate on the bottom half. So that will give you 2 videos for Monday and Tuesday with a bit of that. So the next thing to do is let that dry, and then we'll go in the truck and we'll put the loft insulation up, which is broken up, believe it or not, plastic bottles that have been shredded. So we'll put that in, and then hopefully that will be dry enough, and I'm hoping I've got enough lacquer to do this tonight, and then this can go in the house to dry overnight, because I can't put this out to dry in the cold because it will give it a dull sheen. The cold air will destroy it. So that's pretty much it.
I've got a question.
How do you read the instructions? So
Just read the instructions on the bag. Then there it is.
Remove the roll from the packaging and shake to help prevent it to its shape to recover to its full thickness. Eaves. I'm shaking it. There's a lot happening.
You're making a lot of dust. It's like other stuff.
No. Right. Okay.
Is that the glue, is it?
yeah,
The thing to stick onto.
yeah.
Okay,
I don't have a lot of it, so I'm not allowing it to dry.
You're not supposed to pull it apart then to separate
No,
it.
no, that'll be fine. I'm only filling in. I need something to colour with though. Where to do those scissors?
Good question.
They're in here. Oh, this is working so well. Right instead.
Just pull it.
Yeah, I don't want to over pull it. I want that to sit in the gaps. So if I do that, I mean, it doesn't really need a lot of insulating on here because you've got another wall behind here anyway. So I just want enough to be able to stop this mould from building up.
So, had it.
Well, we'll see, won't we? I mean, it's got
Right, we are coming to the end of the day. It's about, what, 3:15 at the moment. Just sent my lad down to Wilco's to get me some thinners. That'll be to clean the gun with. So as once the lacquer is on that panel, I can be ready for tomorrow. I'll have to get some more lacquer tomorrow. I do know the paint shop's open. I've put plywood around all the frames because I needed to build it out a little bit, because the steel is prouder than the wood itself, and I don't want it to bow because there is an essential piece of kit to put in around that area that requires that wood to be as flat as possible. Stuck on with PVA. We won't get that panel on today. We'll do that first thing in the morning. All the screws you see will come out,
including the steels as well. These big old things, they've got to come out, all of them. We'll put the plywood on with some black sealant on the steel, polyurethane glue on the wood, and then we'll strategically place the screws so as later on I can get some plastic caps to pull the screws out with and put them over the screw heads to hide them. That's something for later. And then we'll start the same process all over again on the bottom one. We've got to remove that bar. That has to go, it's in my way there. Partly why I never did the other side, because I knew I had to take it off. And that side was more of an experiment, and there's still more work to do on them. They're working brilliantly, but they're not working as well as they could. I need to chuck each pulley in the lathe and sort that out, and I need a cam tensioner on the bottom one as well as the top one. I thought having one tensioner was going to be good enough, but it isn't. So either the bottom pulley has got to be tensioned, or where the bolts are that you see on the frame itself, I put a tensioner on that so I can lift that up or down according to where it needs to sit. So they're still not quite there yet, but we are getting there with it. As soon as this bottom one's done, we'll then start, if it ain't raining, we'll start down there. But if it is raining, I won't be doing that. I'll then turn my attentions to the roof. We've got to cut a piece. Me wrong, this really could do with another coat, a sand down and another coat, but it ain't gonna get it. It is perfectly good enough, I hope, for what it's got to do. Now I could always brush over some varnish later on in the year, but I think we have it. I think that will work, and it will look quite nice against everything else that I'm doing. So the problem is when you put water on wood, as I did with the dye, it tends to open the grain up. That's the problem. That's what you're looking at here. So all those little tiny splits in the surface of the shine, it's open grain where the lacquer has not properly settled to where it needs to be. Basically it's drunk it, I believe, and separated. My mood at the moment says put the thing up when it's dry. My mood tomorrow morning might be completely different, and I might put another coat over the top, but I don't think we'll be able to get it any better than what it is, and that's my honest, truthful opinion. I can sand it back, that will help, but that just delays the build that little bit longer. So, and it is only a wall. It's nothing more. And the other problem you got is because it's such cheap plywood, you can see the down lines of where the hollows are on the inner plies that are behind the top ply. If I was to buy some more expensive plywood, those lines like that one, which is very obvious, wouldn't be there. But it does have some interesting grain pattern on this one. We've got a knot there, which is quite nice to look at, and a few other little features like some wider grain there. The dye has actually brought that grain out a lot better than it would have done if I hadn't have done. So my answer to the question is yes, this has come out better than I thought, but it hasn't come out as good as I would have liked. Okey's decision has been made. We will leave this and put a second coat on tomorrow. We will sand down as gently as we can. I will not be able to completely seal all of the grain, that won't be possible, but I would like to get that a little bit better than what it is at the moment. I mean, we are almost there with it. Another coat will definitely do it justice. So tomorrow morning we'll come out, we'll put DA over it very quickly, de-dust it as fast as we can, and get that second coat on, and we'll leave that to dry throughout the entire day, and then hopefully come evening time we will be able to put the first panel in place. In the meanwhile, during the day, we'll get the second panel cut and prepped, ready for the following day for that to go on, and then we'll assess where we're at with what other jobs we plan to do. So yeah, I think that's it for this video for today. That's the Monday one. I'm going to go upstairs, edit and upload. Laters.